All right, so here's one of the major problems with the EU. All right, so in this post, this gentleman says, uh, the mask has come off. Brussels' latest migration decision has poured clear water into the glass of Hungarian politics. Brussels has decided that from July, Hungary must either take in migrants from other EU countries or pay for their upkeep. Okay, this also is going to involve a fine for Hungary. Okay, so the EU is trying to fine Hungary. So this is a huge problem with the European Commission. Essentially, right, if you give someone the power to take your nation's money or your money out of your bank account, something like that, if they are not policed, if they are not controlled well enough, they can use that power to turn your nation, your people, into slaves, right? If you don't obey, we can take as much money as we like from you. This is a huge problem because, right, it results in forced slavery, forced obedience. You're going to have $0 and starve, or you're going to obey us. It boils down to a very, very critical problem with the EU. Can the President of the United States fine a state? No, right? Now, the U.S. Supreme Court can issue fines if they agree to do so, right? But the Supreme Court has to rule in favor of doing so. And so the last time this happened was $42,000 in 2019, it looks like. Something like that. Okay. The difference is the U.S. Supreme Court, these are elected officials, right? The European Commission, these are unelected officials, all right? So whatever corrupt system is getting these people who are the actual rulers of your nation in regards to people who choose to bow and do what they say, right? You do what we say or we take all your money, right? You don't have much power if you have no money most of the time. And obviously this is something that is extremely damaging to a nation, right? Hungary being fined millions and billions of dollars because they don't want to take migrants in. It's completely unacceptable, right? It's opposite to freedom. It's slavery, and it's in the case of the EU, this is not going to get better, right? Understanding that, right, this is also slavery is also opposite to what will cause a nation to thrive, right? Everybody being enslaved and being told what to do, people don't like being told what to do. We like freedom, right? Amongst highly successful people, right, you'll see free thought, freedom of speech, freedom to innovate being extremely critical for the development of children's brains, children's minds, things like this. And so they go on to exercise and learn from that freedom and apply it to build cool things that make a lot of money, etc., etc., etc. Develop new successful financial systems, etc. All right. Oftentimes, large bureaucracies, they become very corrupt. EU having 720 members, it's fully corrupt. There's no fixing it, unfortunately, right? What do you think the chances are the EU surrenders the ability to fine other members of the EU? It's about zero. What do you think the chances are Ursula von der Leyen says, I don't like power anymore, I'm giving it up? It's zero. And so understanding the difference between the system in the U.S. that is functioning well, many of our states are thriving, right? The U.S. GDP is exploding, and that, right, this power does not rest with the President of the United States. This power rests with the Supreme Court, who are elected officials, right? And so, unlike Ursula von der Leyen, if people see that the U.S. Supreme Court is abusing these powers, theoretically fining Hungary over their own opinions on certain politically incorrect matters, right? they're going to vote that judge out and the fines will stop, right? However, in regards to the European Commission, right, these fines will probably worsen as the ruler with the iron fist comes in, beating their subjects into submission. And so this is a critical flaw with the EU. The chances the EU gets fixed with a corrupt bureaucracy at around 720 people, it's zero. Okay, it's zero. There's too many people that will hold on to their power. They're going to say, "I'm not going to let that go." No, I don't want to surrender the ability to define people. I like that. I'm powerful, right? People don't want to surrender that. And so the only option in regards to the EU is division away from it. Being slaves, right? That's the other option, right? The fines will increase and the tyrannical power will continue down that road of logic. Let's say Hungary submits, well then Ursula von der Leyen and the future EU commissioners have found a way to force their hand and force their will upon other people. Understanding this is going to be important going forward and witnessing the events that will take place down the road.